to DevOps Info channel. Today we are going to take a look at one of the offering from Microsoft, which is the Microsoft AI Hub Preview. As we all know, the rapid adoption of the AI, especially the Gen AI, has outpaced the development of comprehensive compliance and security measures in a lot of the cases. So this also has been a big concern in a lot of the cybersecurity community. So, having said that, let's take a little bit deep dive on the solution, which is the Microsoft AI Hub, and see what are the capabilities of this feature as of now when it is in preview. So, when coming to talk about the Microsoft AI Hub, let me go into the article. So, it's an innovative platform which is designed to help the organization to manage and secure across the various AI applications. So, if we take a look at the overview, so basically it's utilizing the purview capabilities, the data loss prevention capabilities, the insider risk management capabilities uh, around the AI. So which you're also building all the comprehensive compliance and security into the AI. So as a result of that, you'll be able to discover all the Gen AI activities that's happening. Like for example, if you take about the Copilot, you'll be able to see, and also any other Gen AI applications, for example, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Bart, whatever it is, you'll be able to monitor them, and then you'll be able to protect the Copilot interactions by making use of the purview capabilities, which is built in the Microsoft ecosystem. So with that, you'll be able to prevent the sensitive data being unauthorized access, because that's most important part, because every organization is rapidly adopting the AI, but the challenge is we're not sure how far and how comprehensive the compliance and security measures are enforced in many of the cases. So this is very important to say that integrating AI into the operations must be done only after assessing the potential security risks. Like we need to always look into the security, the compliance, all these things, because this can lead, if we don't do this, and if you are going ahead with deploying the solution directly, then it can lead to a lot of issues like data privacy violations, unauthorized use of the personal data, and obviously potential breaches of the data. So to address these challenges, it's always recommended to develop and implement the strong security AI policies. So that's the reason these kind of solutions that's coming into the market to protect all the AI integrations. That's really going to help. So with the Microsoft Preview AI Hub, it's, as I said, it's currently in preview. It's with all the the purview capabilities, you are having an option to protect your AI integrations in the ecosystem. So there is an article which is in the Microsoft. You'll be able to have a look at it. There are some prerequisites you need to have that, and let's have a look at what are the prerequisites and see like what offering it's coming from the solution. So going into the portal, you need to basically navigate into purview.microsoft.com, and then you see the AI Hub Preview. That's an option. So when you click on the AI Hub Preview, first it brings you the overview page. The first and the foremost thing is you need to activate the Microsoft Purview audit. So in the overview, in order to get started, it gives you a list of 4 action items that you need to do in order to utilize this solution. So the first thing is you need to activate the Microsoft Purview audit. So in most of the organization, the Microsoft Purview audit is already enabled, which is no problem. And just in case if it is not enabled, you just need to simply go into the audit. If you're a graphical lover, you can come here and then you will have an option to turn it on. Or if you want to do it in the PowerShell, you can just simply go ahead and run the set admin audit log. So here it's already enabled. So in the PowerShell, I also see the admin audit log is enabled, which is true. So the first prerequisite is already met. And the second one is you need to install the Microsoft Purview browser extension, because with this you'll be able to detect the user activity and then you'll be able to get the insights based on the policies that you're setting in the Microsoft Purview with insider risk management, with the data loss prevention, and all the labels that you're applying. So in order to install the Microsoft Purview browser extensions, like you need to, basically find it here, and then you can install. Of course, it is there for the Edge browser, and also it's for Pro. So in our example, I have installed this in our Edge, so it's already available. So the moment when you install, uh, the second prerequisite is also already met, and then you need to. The third one is you need to onboard the devices into Microsoft Purview. So this is most important part, because in order to monitor all these features and protect your sensitive data, uh, you need to have visibility to your endpoint. So the first thing is like, in order to provide visibility to the endpoint, you need to onboard the devices to Microsoft Purview. So in most of the cases, which I always recommend to onboard the devices into Intune, and then you have all your compliance policies, everything set, and which is in green flag, and then post that you'll be able to onboard. So in this example, like, there is one device which I have already onboarded into the Intune, which is compliant. I have some compliance policy which is also compliant, and then later, you need to onboard them into the Microsoft Purview. So that's the next step which you need to do. So in order to onboard them into Microsoft Purview, there are a lot of options which you can do. In my case, like I also have, for example, the device which we are talking about is already Azure Ready joined, and it's also Intune managed. So the first prerequisite is already met, and you could see this on the command prompt, and then later, it's easy for me to onboard this into Microsoft Purview. So there are multiple ways of onboarding. So the simple one is like, I have only a couple of devices, so in this case I have just download the onboarding script, and then I ran it. The moment when you ran it, then you would be able to onboard them. So in order to confirm that, you also receive some event IDs on the event viewer. So like the moment when it's completed, you see like successfully onboarded the machine to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which is good. And later you'd be able to see the devices which is onboarded in the purview. So this is just a small way of doing it, and also there are a lot of other ways to onboard them with the Intune, and other ways like you can always do it based on your requirement. So this is the prerequisite, other one prerequisite which is completed. And the next one is like, you need to extend your insights for the data discovery, because the first thing, like, you're setting up uh, the the foundation to get collect the events, and then getting the visibility. So now you need to extend your insights. For that, you need to first create an insider risk policy and the data loss prevention policy. The good thing about is, you no need to manually create it. The moment when you come into this prerequisites, is there is already an option to create. The moment when you click on create, then it automatically creates. Which is good. So in this case, like the moment when I created the insider risk, it already created, and then you see the policy which is being created. Microsoft AI Hub browsing in AI assistance. This is the one which was created after the moment when I click on create. But however, the DLP policy, the second one which we see here, data loss prevention policy, uh, was not created for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I did some mistake, or there was some issues because it's in the preview. We cannot talk about it to implement this on the production. So it's always not recommended to test any preview on the production. So it's always recommended you test it in your dev environment and see how it is, so that you're prepared. Like when Microsoft releases the GA, then you'll be able to test it again on your dev environment, and then move it slowly to the production. So having said that, the DLP was not created, but anyways, maybe I have done some mistake, but I will come back to you in the next blog on the same. So the moment when you complete all these things, you have all the green marks ticked over here, and then you see the recommendations. You see like it comes over here, and then you see the reports, the total interactions time over the Copilot. In order to show this, I simulated some activities on the Copilot, and then it shows the activities over here. And the total visits to other GenAI apps, like just in case if you have any kind of the other GenAI apps, then you will be able to see them over here. But in our case, I have only Copilot, so you don't have anything over here. And the next one is the recommendations. So the recommendation gives a tailored overview of like what are the things that you need to do, just in case if you are missed. So in this case, like for me, the recommendation is zero, but the completed is like four of the things which I have completed, and not started is basically the DLP protects sensitive data from reference in Copilot responses. So the data security, since the DLP is not there, so we don't see it, and hence it's showing the not started phase. And the moment when you go into reports, you'll be able to see the reports, basically what are the reports that you could see for the Copilot, and what are the reports that you'll be able to see for the other AI apps. So the total interactions you see, like you have the graphical representation out of it, and then you'll be able to view the details and external insights, which we'll take a look at it in few minutes. And well, coming to talk about the policies, these are the policies that it's been created the moment when we onboarded this preview version. So, for example, the Microsoft AI Hub is browsing in AI assistants. Like this is inheriting one of the browser policy, which is in also in preview. So, with that, you'll be able to monitor all the AI activities. And for example, edit policy in solution, when the moment when you go, then you will be able to do more customization on this. Like as I said, the policy template what it is using is like the risky browser usage preview. So in this, like you'd be able to control a lot of things. Like for example, when you go into the edit policy solution, I saw some good options which you have, that you can basically monitor the activities that is coming from the Office 365, from other workloads, with which you would be able to modify and make it more usable. So the policy settings, if you scroll down in the edit policy, yeah, these are the policy templates you have. For example, the devices onboarded is there, the Microsoft Purview extension is there, and then the risky browser usage. If you go further, then there are options where you would be able to do a lot of modifications. Maybe we will take a look at more detail in the next coming videos. But in overall, the default one is like this. And for example, the second one, which we're talking about, the communication and compliance. The moment when you click on communication and compliance, these are the default one which is present. Like for example, if any content matches any of these classifiers, like for example, regulatory collusion, stock manipulation, or money laundering, any one of these actions happens in the Copilot, then you'll be able to view them in the Activity Explorer. So, having said that, the policies, come here. Like, what are the policies that you're creating basically for your AI compliance and security measures? And the Activity Explorer, by having the default one, the moment when I was able to, simulate some test scenarios. Like this is the place where I, like went into the Copilot, and then I was, simulating some test cases. And the moment when I completed, I was able to see the interactions. Like for example, this is the AI interaction. The user is Satish, the timestamp, the app, the workload. So in order to see if the data classification or if the compliance policy is getting triggered, I just simply initiated one of the web chat, which is like I want to see if anything is detecting based on the the entry that we have for the compliance. Yeah, it's detecting the sensitive information because I was just chatting, for example, finance, and then I was just simply typing money laundering to see if this classification is able to detect that compliance stamp. It was able to detect that, and you see that category which is showing as classification stamp, and it's showing the sensitive info type, which is a finance category, which is really good. And we're coming to talk about the other ones. You'll be able to see, the timestamp, the user, the app, and then the workload. And then if you want to see the prompt responses, then you need extra more permissions. I'm not sure what it is because I have not more explored on this. But anyways, like in this current default vanilla state, we would be able to see the AI activities, like what are the activities that's happened in the Copilot based on a graphical representation, and then you are able to see the user, the timestamp, and the good part is even the classification is getting stamped. So with this, you'll be able to further fine tune and improve more into the security and compliance of the AI part in your organization. So by integrating these capabilities, it helps a lot to simplify the complex task of securing and governing data in your cloud environment, and definitely it makes easier to comply with a lot of regulatory requirements which is mandatorily required, and also it definitely mitigates the potential risks associated with any new AI deployments. So it's very important for any organizations to stay ahead of these risks by establishing this kind of a security focused a compliance focused policy, rather than looking into it at a later stage. So this protective approach will definitely help in mitigating the risks that are associated with a rapid deployment of the AI technologies. I think hope you enjoyed this video. I would definitely continue with a few more series of this to explore more on how are we going to protect the AI in terms of security and compliance. And then we will see you in the next video. Thank you.